sunlight that always improved the mood. Probably because he didn't give them freely or often, and Maclain in a decent headspace led to a good pitching game. That definitely had to be the reason. My girlfriend barely tolerated him, and even complained that I let Maclain get under my skin. For some reason, I got under his, too. Except for the times we totally meshed on the field, resulting in a big win. Then it felt amazing. I turned my back and got lost in working out for the next hour, and by the time I was ready to hit the locker room, the weight room was empty. My teammates were no doubt already in class, and I was glad to have this time to myself before heading to my own. My feet faltered as I passed by the shower area and spotted Maclain standing directly under one of the spigots. Rivulets of water rolled down the smooth skin of his back to his perfectly shaped ass. I'd seen it plenty of times in the Pirates clubhouse. In fact, all of us had seen each other's junk as we changed and showered after games. But staring was a different thing altogether. And being here alone, without fear of repercussions, I looked my fill at his rock-hard thighs and calves, wondering if that made me a creeper or an admirer. When he angled his body sideways, I noticed his eyes were screwed shut, and his hand was fisting his cock. His very erect cock. I froze, the air getting trapped in my lungs. And holy shit, my body's response to him was completely perplexing. It had been for a long time, if I was being honest. I didn't understand it before, but I supposed I was forced to now as my shaft began filling with blood and protruding against my thin sweats. Still, I didn't back away, baffled but entranced by his tight fist beating his meat into submission. Okay, I needed to leave before this got ugly, and even more confusing. As I turned to go, I heard my name. At least I thought I did. Oh, fuck. Girard! His voice sounded hoarse and irritated. Holy shit, was he calling me out? But when I heard him groan, I glanced back just in time to watch him unload his jizz down the drain. All my nerve endings buzzed to life like a stadium under the lights, and I couldn't move even if I tried. My feet were heavy, as if I were standing in drying cement, and my cock was really fucking hard. Maclain opened his eyes and twisted the shower handle, then briefly glanced in my direction. He blinked rapidly, in stunned silence, his mouth hanging open as his chest heaved from his powerful orgasm. It was as if all the sound in the room was blotted out as we stared at each other. Gawked was more like it. And then suddenly everything was loud in the hollow space as his face contorted into a sneer. The fuck you looking at? Nothing. I thought I heard someone call my name. Sure as hell wasn't me, he rumbled, reaching for his towel and drying off, ignoring what just happened, except his hands were shaking. My brain was all fuzzy, like maybe I'd imagined it or wished it into being. Was that even possible? What else could explain how goddamned uncomfortable it felt between us right then? I thrust aside the thought that Maclain had jacked off while thinking of me. It didn't seem plausible, not where he was concerned. Yeah, okay. My cheeks were on fire as I stumbled away. I couldn't get out the door fast enough, and when I finally reached my car in the parking lot, I still felt too close, too heated, too everything. I growled in frustration as I turned the key in the ignition and got the fuck out of there. Maybe with some distance, everything would begin making sense. If not, the rest of our season was about to get awkward as shit.
1. Maclain. January. I was sitting in a Mexican restaurant by myself, the chips and salsa left uneaten as my father ran late. Again. The restaurant was a halfway point between the university in Lexington and my childhood home in Louisville. The drive was about an hour for each of us, but Dad was a busy man, as he so often liked to remind me. So, shaving off time by meeting in the